Hey everyone, so before we go straight into the review of the Good Tarot deck, I just want to point out that as I was going through the Major Arcana cards, I noticed at the end that the High Priestess was missing. And because these are new cards and they're kind of like an oracle type stock, the number 2 card, which is High Priestess, got stuck to the Magician. And I thought it wasn't included until I really searched. So here it is. I just wanted you to have a look at it before we start. And I hope you enjoy this video. Hi everyone, it's Tanya Short, Energy Reader. Welcome to my latest video. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Good Tarot deck. So I'm just going to go straight into it, look straight at the Major Arcana first. I have opened and unboxed it, but I haven't actually seen the cards. So you will be experiencing each card and my kind of review on that as I look at them. So this is the box just to show you. It's a lovely size actually, the perfect size, not too big, not too small, feels good quality as well. And here is the little guidebook, which I will certainly read at some point. Now the cards, this is the back. Sorry about that light shining there, but you can see the back. They feel like oracle cards to me, so they are a little bit sticky but still quite strong. So here is the full. Really beautiful imagery. I can see this already. This to me is very kind of childlike here. Kind of ready for an adventure. This is beautiful. The Magician, absolutely mesmerising there. It's like this guy knows everything, doesn't he? I love the colours. It's very green. It's got a real mystical feel to it. His eyes is almost like Father Christmas as well. And the Empress. I love the way she's clutching the corn. And she's just got this kind of serious yet kind of calm look on her face. That kind of tells you that she is really comfortable in her own skin. Lots of colour again around her, but nice earthy colours as you'd expect from the Empress there. Okay, the Emperor. Well, that's like the strong lion, isn't it? I love that actually, because he's got that big kind of masculine feel to it with the strength of the lion there, holding on to his sword, ready to kind of make decisions, take on the world, but at the same time there's a softness there. It makes you think of like father, doesn't it, of dad, and that's the type of thing we think of with the Emperor. Hierophant, wow, it's nice to see Hierophant kind of displayed there as female, and she's got her wings behind her. And she really knows what she's doing, doesn't she? You can see like the table there with all of her bits and pieces on top of there. So she's kind of ready to study, go deeper, really kind of feel into whatever it is that's her kind of discipline there. That gives you that feeling of structure, that you've got that support behind you. This is the Lovers, that just says love on this one. I wasn't expecting that actually. I was expecting more of a kind of male and female, but that's fine because she's kind of hugging the lion, so the strength of the lion. And there's kind of a pathway which I quite like. So it's like, do we walk through this path or do we stay as we are? If we need to make a decision, what do we do? Do we actually speak up about stuff? Don't wake the sleeping lion. So that's pretty cool. The Chariot. Wow, look at those beautiful horses. Now this just makes me feel that like with this Chariot that this horse is kind of ready to go. Look at the colours of it. Look at the style of the mane. Whereas this one's a little bit more considered, thinking about stuff. So she's like, well, which way do I go then? Do I kind of consider this for a bit longer, or do I just keep going and get started? So that's a lovely picture. Strength. Oh, I love this. That's so beautiful. Look at him like howling. He's really going for it, and it's just that inner strength, isn't it? Or that perseverance, that endurance just to keep going. That's really beautiful. So far, I'm really impressed with these. They've got such a dreamy kind of look about them. You know, they are still really sticky. So the Hermit. What's really interesting with this is that you can just see a face there. So it's like you've got to kind of push through this door to find more of it, and there's lots of keys, so you have to kind of decide what key to use to push through. And it's like the door of knowledge, the door of wisdom, the door of inner knowing. That's so cool. Fortune Wheel, or Wheel of Fortune. That's quite pretty. Stunning imagery. I mean, if you're into your symbols and imagery, you know, you can get so much from these pictures here. Justice. That one's quite light actually compared to what it could look like. The Hanged Man. So I quite like that actually. They're not too harsh, these images. Transformation, otherwise known as the Death card, which is nice when they call it the Transformation card. That's nice, because that's not going to scare anyone if they see it. I love the way it's kind of got the child there as well, as if to say, you know, like a child is always changing, forever kind of growing. I like that. Patience, otherwise known as Temperance. The clock there. Just waiting or trying to find the great balance in everything that we do, the moderation. Temptation, aka the Devil card. Again, it's not too scary. I like that because it's a softer approach to the shadow side of everyone. The Tower. Again, it's not frightening. It just shows this kind of transformative change that is happening, sometimes very necessary for us. Quite bold actually, that structure there. The Star. That's pretty. I guess that's okay. It's not my favourite one. I quite like the Star to be kind of reaching out for that kind of higher knowledge, or reaching out for that better outcome. The Moon. Beautiful moon. Kind of sitting there on the moon. Darker colours are nice around that as well. We've got the sun here as well. That's very pretty. I love the sunflowers. I always like to see sunflowers with the sun card. Really gorgeous. Cool. This must be Judgment. That to me is very, like, very judgmenty with the big trumpet there. Very kind of angelic. And then we've got the World. The World, the key there as well. I mean, it's pretty. It's not my favourite world, but I mean, so far I'm really impressed. Okay, guys, so here we have the Air, which is the element for the swords. Now, this deck isn't very negative in its nature in terms of its images and symbolism. So it's all quite light, and which is okay. I mean, if that's the kind of thing you want, and it's supposed to be that way for a reason. So it doesn't really kind of focus on the shadowy dark side too much, but you kind of do need that in a tarot reading. So let's see, because the swords are generally the heavier suit in the decks. So let's see what they've got for us here. I'm trying hard not to shine that light as we're watching this, so hopefully it's not going to annoy anyone. But we've got it starts with the pages, actually. It starts with the quartz. So we've got the page here of swords, or page of air. So just person that's opening up themselves up to new possibilities here. Messenger, which is also the Knight. So they're just like quite, you know, nice images, but they're not really telling you a lot about what that card means. So I wouldn't recommend a deck like this if you don't know the meanings of the cards yet. You should really kind of start with your Rider-Waite tarot deck to get to know what the meanings are. Here's the Queen. Now, she's normally depicted as a very kind of intellectual, clever, sometimes heartless, or dare I say it, cold woman. But this to me just shouts out somebody that's very knowledgeable, and we've got the owl on her shoulder there. So I quite like that, because I feel like I could go to her and she could tell me a lot of stuff. She'd be straight to the point with it without, you know, putting on rose tinted glasses. So yeah, I quite like that. She's got a lot of knowledge there. Same with him, but this is the King of Air. So, but he's wearing this mask, which makes me feel like, I don't know if I can trust him. Of course, you know, he's an honest man, but I feel like I have to be careful around him as well, because he kind of wants to do things for himself there. So the Ace of Air, new possibilities, new beginnings, a clear way of thinking, logic and reason. Here we have our wonderful unicorn. And then we've got the 2 where we are having some time to think about, or needing to think about, conflict in our minds. And I can see that with the birds that are on each hand. She's kind of weighing it up, isn't she? So the 3 of Air. Now this is the one, the 3 of Swords, that normally, you know, no one really likes. However, there isn't anything that's saying that that's heartache, but it is. If you look closely, she's pulling herself away. She doesn't want to speak to anyone. She's just received some bad news there. So I can see that. This is the 4 of Air, where she will take her rest after hearing that news. And she's still quite sad, as you can see. And she just wants to cut off from everyone. And I can see that in her body language. So I like that. But then there is renewed action after that. And she's ready to kind of face her enemies or face the battle and just push on. And I can see that. The show must go on. Do you get that feeling with this? Quite like that. This is awesome. Love it. 6 of Air, 6 of Swords. Travelling away from harder times mentally, but it can also mean physical travel. The boat there. Perfect. I can get a lot out of that in my readings. The 7 of Air. Now, do we trust this person? Because she's making out that she's one of them. Look at the mask she's got there. I'm the same as you. Actually, no, you're not. You're a human. Can we trust her? There's an air of deception around this, so I like that one. The 8 of Air. This is when we get caught up in our own mental prison and we worry a lot about stuff. So she's up in the clouds and she can't quite break free yet. And then we have the 9, where she's getting incredibly stressed, but you can't really see that, can you? She actually looks like she's going to take flight there, but really, I mean, really, she's literally stressed to the max normally. But again, as I say, they're not pulling on the darker side. So you have to know your meanings and really feel into that, feel into the cards. And the 10 is when, normally when you're at your wit's end, the worst has happened, there's no going back, it's done. There's some acceptance with this though, isn't there? I accept what has happened. So yeah, that works for me. So here we are, moving on to the fire element, which is our wands. Straight away I can see there's some beautiful colour with this. And I like that. This is so captivating, isn't it? The page of wands there. So captivating. The little adventurer. And here's the knight, also the messenger. And I really like the candles there. As if to say, look at all these ideas I have. I've got tons. I just need to go and do it now and go live my dreams. Here's the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands, who's the performer, the soul sister. Now, she looks more icy than the Queen of Air or Queen of Swords that we saw, but she knows exactly what she's doing and what she needs to do to get where she needs to go, for sure. Yeah, she's got it all. She's beautiful, charismatic. Yeah, you get the picture there. The King of Fire, the entrepreneur. Love that heart there. He seems so wise, doesn't he? It's like everything he touches turns to gold. He's got a lot of knowledge there, but he really does drum to his own beat. You can really see that. And here is the ace. Oh, look at that, the burning lantern. I love this deck, actually. Sorry, this suit. I really love this suit. That is like the first flutter, isn't it, of the idea there. And off she goes with that. That is awesome. So here is the 2 when we are planning, putting all these wonderful ideas together. So together they can move forward and go on their journey ready. She's got everything she needs. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. It's a good take on it. So the 3 of Wands or the 3 of Fire is when we are starting that journey, and off she goes in the shell on her journey. She doesn't know where it's going to take her, but this is the first, it's the beginning. It's the first start of that. So I kind of like that. There's a lot of energy in this. You might have noticed that like I sound a lot more excitable than the Wands, and I think that it's really coming through with this. So we have the 4, and she's playing some music because she's built that wonderful foundation and she's ready to kind of do the next step there. So she's literally making music. She can take a breather now because she's put lots of effort into it. She's feeling good and confident for the future. And then we have the 5. Now, this normally means that there's some conflict, competition, lots of personalities in the mix going on here. Can we see that kind of? Because there's these like glowing flowers behind her. And I quite like this is because some petals have been lost here. And a little bit like, does he love me? Does he love me not type of feeling. And she looks a bit annoyed. Like all these people are kind of annoying me. So yeah, I quite like that. The 6 of Fire, also known as the 6 of Wands. So the 6 of Fire is what I call the fame card. So this is when we've done a really, really good job and we get recognition for that. But to me, I'm going to look at that and I'm going to think that it is actually the 8. Because the 8 is the fast moving energy. I know that's slower, but I've got to kind of get my head around. I guess what you could say with this one is my ship is coming in, is probably a good way to kind of describe that one. Or my hot air balloon is coming in with that. And, you know, people are going to see me first before they see everyone else because I put so much work and effort in. So I guess you could say that with that one. And then we've got the 7 of Fire, and this is when you push through any kind of adversity, or you're the one that is going to rise up against it when it's tough. So that's what that unicorn is doing. And then we have the 8 of Fire, which is the 8 of Wands, which is the fast moving travel. So I'm going to have to remember that. I mean, I know what the cards mean, but sometimes when you're in the middle of a reading, it can throw you out. But the beauty of using a different deck every month is that you will see something else in there to pull on intuitively. Actually, the bamboo is a good one. If you really look at these cards, like how quickly does bamboo grow? So what they've done here is magic, actually. They really have. So we've got the 9 of Fire, which normally means many tasks being taken. Sometimes you can have a bit too many, so you have to be careful with that. So can I see that with this? Kind of. She's lighting many stars there. That she's unstoppable, isn't she? And then we have the 10, and normally that's the excess. When we get to the 10s, it's when we've had too much. And this is when she's got so much stuff that she's burning all of these ideas here. So I think I can work with that. I really, really like this suit. So our next suit in this beautiful tarot deck is the water, which is also the cups. So here's our little page, our little empath. Really cute there. And here is our knight, also known as the messenger. So beautiful. Look at all of that imagery. You can go to town on that. So beautiful as well. Coming to give a message of love. And here's our queen. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but am I really feeling her? She's got her eyes closed. I don't know if she's speaking to me yet, so I'm going to have to give this one some time to really kind of communicate to me. He, on the other hand, he's speaking to me. They're quite old. There's nothing wrong with having older people in the deck, but I don't know, if he feels like your granddad that's going to sit down and give you lots of kind of talking or lessons or stories about his youth, that kind of thing, in a lovable way. I can see that. He's only got your best interests at heart. He's a real family man. So here is the ace, the start of our journey. It's the egg on the little seahorse. That's lovely. Or the pearl. It's not an egg, it's a pearl, but the beginnings of something fluttering. And together, the two fish are coming together and just kind of saying hello. And it makes me think of There's Plenty More Fish in the Sea. Quite apt, really, for the meaning of that card. Here we have the 3 pearls, our tribe. And when we think of friends and family who we really love, we do think of them as pearls in the ocean, don't we? And that says that to me, so I like that. So the 4 of water, she's holding this huge pearl. I mean, she's found it, she's got it. And she's got some smaller ones, but she's literally found the mother pearl. However, she's not satisfied. Can you see that face? She is so bored. She needs to learn a little bit of gratitude, I think, there. And then if we lose that big pearl, we actually come to the 5 of water where she's heartbroken. She's lost them. I feel like she's drifting in the sea. She doesn't know which direction she should be going in. She's really drifting and she's got her hand on her head. And it's like, what? I just don't know what to do. I'm so caught up in my own grief here. That looks like a grief card, but that is the nostalgia card, the memory card. 6 of water. When you're really missing someone, you clutch in your stomach, your solar plexus, powerhouse of energy there. And then we have the 7, all of these choices, but which one do we go for? Are we overwhelmed? Just a bit muddled, really, with everything to choose from. This is good. So we've got the 8 of water, the 8 of cups. It's like my ship is definitely coming in, but this time I'm getting on it because it's time for me to leave. I've collected all my stuff. It's my choice. I'm going forward. No one else is going to stop me. I love that card. And here we have the 9 of cups. So she has the diamond. So she's feeling okay. She's kind of feeling like she's won, or she's feeling confident, or it's like she's got security behind her, but in more of an emotional sense there. And then we have the 10 of cups, the happy Buddha, and he's chuckling away there. Everything's okay, full of positivity and possibilities, because he's so confident and happy in his life at the moment. So that's pretty beautiful. Last but not least, we have the suit of earth, which is the pentacles. And let's start with our little page, who's ready to go on his journey. He's really cute, actually, and it's very earthy, isn't it? It's really beautiful because you can kind of just see him ready to go on his journey, but not rushing, taking his time with that as well. Here is the messenger, who's also the knight. So another one that is kind of calm with her decisions in life, not necessarily risk averse, however, will think things through and do things the right way, the old fashioned way, as I like to say. If you're dating this type of person, they've got old fashioned values. Now this is the Queen, and I love this because it really speaks to me, because she is the healer. She's very conscious of the physical, not only money, but also the body as well. And I get that with her. She feels like the healer in the forest that you'd go to find if you had an ailment and you needed help. She's just going to come out from behind a rock and say, I can help you. So I really like that. And here is the King of Earth. I'm sure this is just Father Christmas, but in different outfits. But he is definitely like, he likes the finer things in life. He's worked hard to get where he wants to. Looking at the stag antlers there, he's just, you know, he knows his place in this world. So here we have the ace, the beginnings of our investment, the beginnings of everything really that we're going to do in this material life. It's the start. It's exciting. I always get excited when I see the ace of earth or the Ace of Pentacles, because it means new things are coming in from a material aspect there. And here's the 2. What strikes me with this one is that those coins that she's holding look really, really big. So she's struggling to hold them. So it's just finding the balance, practicing the balance, which is a good one there. As if that's her teacher. It feels like that's her teacher telling her what she needs to do. So here's the 3 of Earth. Now, you may have watched some other review videos with me, and I always say that I like teams in the 3 of Earth. I like to see more than one person. And obviously, there's only one person here that I can see. I mean, I know the meaning of this card. Does it depict that? I'm not quite sure with that one. So the 4 of Pentacles is normally when we are either saving up or holding on to stuff, not letting it go, being a bit tight, but also being careful. Sometimes it's a good thing to be that way. Is she hiding her coins? Is she holding them off? Trying to feel what the moth means there. Perhaps you know. If you let me know on comments if you feel anything from these cards. That, you know, when I'm doing this in the moment, sometimes I can have mind blank. So you let me know what you're feeling from this as well. Now this is the 5 of Earth, also known as the 5 of Coins. Now this can be, it's a sad card because it means you've lost, like you've lost money, you've lost assets, you've lost your job. And this person, they look lost actually, and you can't really see them whole. It's like they've just merged into the background, like they don't matter. So I quite like that. They need to find their roots again. So then we have the 6 of Coins, and this is when we're giving and receiving, charity. So here comes this beautiful white stag with all these coins to give us hanging from his antlers. And here's the 7, and this is when we're not sure whether to carry on with all the work that we've put into our investment. I can kind of see that because I like to see a bit of a cliff edge there, because I like to call this the cliff card. So I quite like that one. Now here is the 8. This is the expert, musician here. And they've really honed in on their craft there. They're really, really good at it. They're the experts. They're just working away and making beautiful music. So I can see that there. And then we have the 9 when we have everything in abundance because we've worked hard. This is when we have choice with our money. And does she? I feel like she does. She's got all those coins behind her. And she looks thankful and grateful for that as well, because she's worked hard to get to where she needed to go. And last but not least, we have the 10. This is the riches, and she's kind of sitting there with her wolf, and she's got her money and all of her coins behind her with a feeling of satisfaction. This also means family as well. Obviously, you can't really see that here, but that's not really what these cards are about. Stunning suit, I have to say.